What was? Why did you breathe so heavily like that?
And then,
Okay. Do you know why I called you today? To help
because
me?
you want some help.
Yeah, I do need some help, but it looks like today you are busy. What were you doing?
Mm.
What were you doing?
No, I was just checking my emails and browsing, internet browsing.
Okay, a time like this in the week on a Monday morning at 10, I'll be in the middle of my working day. Kind of, not in the middle, but I'll be doing something to do with work. But
Mm.
today is what? What do you call them here in England?
A bank holiday.
What is a bank holiday?
It's a government holiday, national holiday,
Why is it so? Why is 2nd of May today bank holiday?
because it's May Day.
Oh,
It's
so May Day was yesterday.
yeah, 1st of May is May Day, so it's always the first Monday in May.
Okay, all right. So, and then it's extended now today as a bank holiday.
Yes.
Okay. So why I've called you, my darling, is because, I don't have a specific plan for today. And I wanted us to go for a walk and you refused. Why did you refuse to go for a walk?
Because I'm only just waking up.
Okay.
You see, we're different.
Yeah.
I like to have several coffees and check my emails, have some breakfast, and slowly come out of my hibernation. You, darling, you're a morning person. As soon as the sun's, even before the sun's up, you're out there in the world, bright and breezy and energetic and just zesting for life.
Yeah.
But
Hmm.
but let me
Hmm.
tell you, as soon as that sun goes down, that's it. You're another creature. You just
Of course, I'm
after
tired. If you start,
when the sun disappears, that's it. If the sun disappears at 5 o'clock in the evening, darling thinks it's time to sleep. I think
yes, even in
now
winter,
me,
at 4 p.m. in winter when it's dark.
yeah, now
Yeah.
me,
I see
I'm
just
a
darkness and I
I'm a
want to go
night
to sleep.
person. I don't even wake up till the afternoon.
Yeah.
So I'd love to go for a walk with you, darling,
Yeah.
but I just need to wake up. I think I'm like a tortoise. I'm like a reptile.
An owl.
I'm slow in the
I don't
morning
know.
till I get
Yes.
till I get warmed up.
Okay. So why I have kind of really messed your day
You haven't
and
messed my
really
day. You haven't.
plugged you
You
out of
haven't messed me day.
your reading your emails and browsing and checking what your
Just
emails are
chilling,
like.
darling. That's all.
Yeah, I thought because today is a bank holiday, like you said, and you were asking me what's the plan of the day, and I
Yeah,
said I don't specifically have a plan. I
exactly.
just woke
So
up and I thought, whatever plans I had yesterday, I was thinking, oh, I'm going to put social media away today and just chill and be quiet. But unfortunately, my mind is refusing to still just be quiet.
mm,
So now I'm thinking maybe I could bulldoze you out of your regular routine
yeah,
and put you on my social media kind of routine and ask you a few questions. But the few questions I'm asking you, when you go to sleep, you dream, you wake up. Do you normally wake up with thoughts in your mind and thinking that this is okay? Any thoughts? What do you wake up with in your mind very early in the morning, the first thing when you wake
rarely.
up?
I wake up with any thoughts.
Yeah?
Yeah, I rarely dream.
Okay.
Rarely.
Yeah.
If I do,
Yeah.
then know that I've really slept deeply and um, actually today I did dream because
Mm-hmm.
I slept long.
Okay.
I was dreaming about Spider-Man.
Okay.
So I don't know whether that's because I've been sorting my DVDs out or
Mm-hmm.
thinking about a video game. But anyway, that's what I was in a superhero dream.
All
And
right. I was dreaming about the crown. We've been watching the crown, the queen, and
yeah,
everything. And I think that's part of what I was dreaming about. But I didn't. I mean, I can't remember quite everything that I was dreaming.
mm,
But unlike you, I wake up with a lot of thoughts in the morning.
you do.
And one of the thoughts I woke up with is reflection of one of our church elders had talked about yesterday.
Mm,
Do you remember the thing we were listening from David?
yes.
What stood out for you?
what stood out for me?
Yeah.
Two things stood out for me. Right.
Mm-hmm.
The first one,
Mm-hmm.
and rarely do I really study the preachings on YouTube from our church, but David's preaching was interesting. In fact, I just caught it from the other room and had to come and watch it, and I think I've watched it 3 times now. But what stood out for me was several things, actually, not even just one. Because firstly, the admission that David got it wrong when dealing with a difficult person, and we all deal with difficult people in life, and you know, I consider David a strong Christian. You know, he's one of those people that you would look to grow in faith. Now, if somebody like him can admit that he wanted to get angry and he handled something badly when relating to people, it's actually very comforting because you know, especially me, I can be my own worst critic, and you know, if I to hear him say that he lost his temper. And all those things that he was saying, I find those traits in me sometimes, much lesser degree than what I used to be before I was born again. But even so, they can be there at times. So I think the lessons of that, you know, it reminds us that we're all imperfect. You know, we all fall short of God's glory. But yeah, that was comforting for me.
Yeah.
But also I liked the message that he said that you know the nine traits of the fruit.
Oh, the fruit of the
Yeah,
Spirit.
the fruit
Yeah.
of the spirit.
In Galatians 5:21 to 22, I think that's where he was reading
Yeah,
from. Yeah.
I did like that. Um, because I think that's one of those preachings that will stick in my mind.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, when I'm dealing with somebody difficult, or if I'm in a difficult situation, I'm sure that that's going to spring into my mind,
Okay.
and I'll remember law of patience. What was the ninth one? He said the will,
Self-control is the one you were saying. If
self-control.
you can
Yeah,
be able to work
and that's
on
what
that.
it is. You have to control your emotions, and you know. And I think it was important the way that he was talking. So, what was the verse from James that he said?
Was it from James or First Peter?
I thought it was. There was one from James that he mentioned.
Okay, just before we mention,
about no, it was Peter, wasn't it?
Yeah,
when
Peter.
When he said that we
let me tell you exactly where it was. I think
I
wrote a little note yesterday here, so that we can be able to mention it. So it is First Peter.
Yeah, First Peter. That's the one.
15, because he was saying this guy he was working with used to be really annoying, and he had gone to show that he doesn't care.
That's the one. I remember. I need to learn that. Really learn that, because it's powerful. For it is God's will that by doing good you should silence the ignorant talk of foolish people. Wow, that is just really powerful.
Yeah. So First Peter 2:15. Yeah. And you know, when you were talking about the fruit of the Spirit, you know, like you were saying that's where he was leading us, and you were saying if you lose any of these, because for him now, you know, previously you had told me you are better because of you're more
peaceful.
Yes. And David was saying if you lose any one of these elements of the fruit of the Spirit, which is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, generosity, faithfulness, gentleness, And for you, you really did pick on self-control yesterday. You were saying if you could be able to master that self-control, then you can be able to have the rest of them.
Yeah.
So he was
Well,
saying,
the rest of them don't work without self-control, I think, do they? Because
okay, what David was trying to say, if you lose any of these, like for
Yeah.
you now, you had said you are more at peace,
Yeah.
since you changed or transformed your life. So if you lose this just because someone is annoying you, really annoying, I don't know if they annoyed you this morning when I was
No,
here.
you didn't. No.
So
No,
if
just because I
someone,
didn't want to come running straight away doesn't mean
yeah. So if you lose your peace, or your joy, because any of those, if you're not happy to do something, then you wouldn't come and do it joyfully, right? Then if you lose any of these, right? Because now the way you reacted or the way you would react or behave towards me, you would lose your self-control. And that means now, looking back, do you really love me? Then I would be questioning, this guy says he loves me, but why is he behaving like this towards me? You see? Now, if you lose your peace because someone is annoying you, right? Maybe at work, wherever. If you kind of check these things, where have you lost it? It's not because it's because you don't love them anymore, and yet we are commanded to love even our enemies, right? So you lose your peace because this person that you're deeming as an enemy has annoyed you, right? And then when you lose your peace, of course you won't be joyful. You will be like complaining all day and all that. Why? Again, because you've lost patience with them, and you've stopped being kind, and you've stopped being generous, and you're not faithful. You're not faithful to God, because you've lost it, and you're not gentle at all. So why I was kind of asking you to come and talk to me, because you see, like you said, I'm a morning person, and when I wake up in the morning, I wake up with thoughts, a lot of them. And for sure, the very verse you quoted, right? Was it First Peter? Yeah, let me just have a look again from yesterday's. It's First Peter. It's the one I wrote the very first thing this morning. So yesterday he read First Peter 2:15, and I was telling you not to
Well, I
worry.
really like that.
Not to worry so much sometimes about the quotation, but it's good to be aware that there is a verse like that and you can be able to pick it. So for me, this morning, I wake up with thoughts, and one of the thoughts is continue doing good. This is the will of God. And I said, see the post from yesterday. And how can I continue to do good? I was saying, ask the Holy Spirit of God to help me, right? And it's throughout. So I was thinking of, when I think about the Bible, I think of,
Excuse me.
yeah, I think of, bless you. I think of Genesis up to Revelation throughout the Bible, and therefore throughout my Genesis up to the day. Now, shall we be editing that or shall we leave it there?
No, just leave it there. Sneeze is natural.
Okay. So that's what I woke up with. Yeah. But after prompting you, you see, you went back to the same thing. And it's very good to reflect, on what we learn along life. Because if we don't,
And also, the other thing that I remember quite a bit from that preaching, it was a good one. It's, it's not the fruits of the Spirit, it's the fruit, the one.
with the
And
9
that's something I'd
segments.
never thought of before either.
Yeah, with the 9 segments.
Yeah.
Now you're sniffling and I'm going to sniffle. You're making me now sniffle. Is it infectious?
No. It's just...
Look, now I'm sniffling like that because you have been chewing and he's sniffling and all that. Anyway, let's continue. So that's my thought. I wake up with a lot of thoughts, and sometimes I wake up with a lot of plans. And then I want to carry them through the day, or rather to make them work, but sometimes it doesn't work. You're sniffling too much now. Is it possible for you not to keep on sniffling?
No. Not really, not unless you want me to stop breathing.
I think, let's try not to.
Well,
okay.
You want me to hold my breath? What?
No.
In fact,
Okay.
you're making me kind of want to do it.
I'm going to pray for you so that you stop sniffling, and that will be the last sniffle and the coughing. Father God, I pray for this husband of mine so that he stops sniffling and coughing. Amen?
Amen.
Okay, we will see it. Was that the last one? Was that to say this is the last one I'm doing, or is it the last practice? I think you can
Well,
count.
I'll try, but you know,
Okay.
if I can't breathe,
This is a broadcast, you see, and I may end up sharing just the
we're
same
not.
way it
But
is.
we're not actors.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna just share it the way it is. Is that okay?
I guess.
Okay.
Yes,
Are
it's
you
okay.
sure? Okay. Yeah. So please.
I'm not doing it on purpose. I'm blocked up. Maybe I need some fresh air.
So shall we cut this and then we
No,
come back
carry on.
and do it when you have breathed enough and your nose. That's why I needed to take you out for a walk.
It will never be unblocked, darling. If you didn't know, it's been blocked for 15 years. You don't. You're only just noticing now because because you're on the screen.
But yesterday you were not sniffling as such as.
Yeah, I was.
Okay.
It was.
Anyway.
It's worse in the morning. And then the more you talk about it, it makes me conscious. Okay. So what were you saying? Continue.
Okay. Okay. So one of the things I was telling myself this morning is to utilize my time in working, serving God and serving other people, right? And one of the things I do with the Spices of Life is to help people discover their potential and help them to maximize it. In between, there are 3 steps, but I won't go into those 3 steps in between. But one of them is to rediscover their potential and then maximize them. And the other thing I'm feeling really, really challenged by, is bridging the gap between white people and black people. Because I feel like I live in England, I'm married to one white person here, and you're married to this chocolate person here. But sometimes I tend to think that in as much as I live in this community, we still don't relate well. We don't gel well, black and white people. Why do you think that's so?
Well, I'll tell you why it
Mhm.
is.
Yeah.
It's because
Mhm.
we naturally want to surround ourselves with people who have similar interests to us. So,
But church, for example, I go to church
Yeah.
and we have similar interests with church, and my church, now our church, is 80% white,
Yeah.
but I still interact mainly with you as the white person and maybe my students, right? But we interact with my students formally and then that's it. But most of the time, when it needs to be in the natural element of interacting with white people, it's difficult.
Yeah, but what you've got to you asked me opinion.
Yeah.
What you've got to realise is,
Mm-hmm.
right,
Mm-hmm.
people would even through history,
Mm-hmm.
even now, people will want to associate
Mm-hmm.
with others
Mm-hmm.
that have similar interests or
Should
similar
we say
perspectives.
interests or people who look like them?
No,
Because
I don't. No.
if you're
I don't
talking
think.
about
I
interests,
don't think it's that that people look like them. It's not. It's not. As people, I think we want to congregate
mm-hmm.
around. I'll say it like this. Then I think as people, you've done psychology courses. You should know this better than me. But from my perspective, I just think that we want to interact
Mm-hmm.
or socialize
Mm-hmm.
with people
Yeah.
who are similar to us.
Similar in what sense?
Well,
Because I've
similar
just
in
given you an example. I've said I'm a Christian. We go to church, for example. 80% of the people I go to congregate with, because they have similar interests like me, are white. But when now it comes to everyday interaction in real life, I find still like I'm not interacting with people who are different from me. I mean, white people. And I'm talking about the skin color and culture. I'm talking about that. So if you tell me that it's because we tend to congregate or we tend to go with people who are like-minded, I don't think it's about like-mindedness, because if it's the like-mindedness, then we will be like-minded to think about Christ? Do you think it's more than the like-mindedness? We go because of the skin color and because of the culture.
I think that's a part of it.
Yeah.
Because, but it's still you seek out people that naturally we will seek out
Mm-hmm.
people that are like us. So
Okay.
let me tell you.
Mm-hmm.
If I went and lived in Kenya,
Mm-hmm.
right,
Mm-hmm.
and I've been to Western Kenya,
Yeah.
right,
Mm-hmm.
where there's very few Mzungus,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I was living there for some time,
Mm-hmm.
and then there was, two or three other white people,
Yeah.
I would naturally be drawn to them
Can I dispute
because,
that a little bit? Can I? Because that experience you had was a one-time visit. There
yeah.
was no
No, I'm
other
talking
Mzungu.
about
I'm only saying,
yeah,
okay, because of the experience from a Kenyan point of view. When Wazungus come to Africa
yeah,
and they live in the community, they don't go looking for other Wazungus. In fact, they
no,
integrate with the communities, and the Africans within the communities really surround this Mzungu until this Mzungu stops feeling like they
no, that's
are
probably,
Mzungu. So it's quite different because, like, I can tell you, one of the places where I was teaching, one of the technical places I was, there came a teacher, a volunteer teacher. And this teacher, you wouldn't even think that, okay, we knew he was white because he looked different. But when it came to living in the community, yeah, he was more surrounded by Africans, like he was really feeling, I think he was welcome, and we tend to make white people welcome, and we surround them. In fact, sometimes even you. Tell me about the experience you
yeah,
had in
okay,
that estate where
probably
maybe
not the best
kids
example
were
then,
coming.
yeah,
Okay, you may think that if you're there, you'll be looking out for another white person. Rarely, I can tell you now, from a
okay,
Kenyan point of view, rarely would a Mzungu go looking for another Mzungu in Kenya. In fact, they want to experience their own unique experience.
but
Yeah,
where I'm coming from
yeah,
is like,
yeah,
when I've travelled,
yeah,
um, now look,
yeah,
I think we're having some different perspective on this,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Now, I'll bring an example to you,
yeah,
right?
mm-hmm,
You teach online,
yeah,
yeah,
mm-hmm,
right,
mm-hmm,
and right, so sometimes I may overhear some interaction,
mm-hmm,
yeah,
mm-hmm,
with your students, yeah.
mm-hmm,
Now, from listening from outside,
mm-hmm,
right,
mm-hmm,
I can witness that interaction.
mm-hmm,
Let me tell you,
mm-hmm.
as soon as, in fact, there was even I can give you an example. The other day,
Yeah,
right,
mm-hmm,
you were just introducing yourself to a student,
mm-hmm,
and it became apparent.
mm-hmm,
You thought, "Oh, are you from Africa?" Um, Yeah, I'm from Tanzania.
mm-hmm,
It's like, and immediately it's
mm-hmm.
like, oh, somebody from my neighbourhood. Oh, you speak Swahili, and I'm telling you, the tone of voice, it went from a business conversation
Mm-hmm.
or a professional conversation
Yeah.
immediately into a friendly. Oh, are you from such and such, and so. You immediately associated yourself
On
but
the side,
you coming from the same
yes. On the
area,
side, on one to one, I
yeah,
was able to relate to this person
exactly,
formally
and
and
that's the word.
informally.
That's what it is. It's relating.
Yeah,
You say, why don't we?
yeah.
Why don't we? Why don't we mix?
Mm-hmm.
And one of the reasons is
Yeah,
it's because of how we relate to others. Yeah.
yeah.
Now, me and you, right, got
Mm-hmm.
together, we fell in love, we got married. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, we're not relating on your chocolate on vanilla,
Mm-hmm.
yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, but we must have found other areas
Yeah,
to relate on, Yeah.
Do we? Did we?
Well, of course, we
Or
must
we
have
have
done.
kind of worked around that?
Well, you have to work on
Because
any marriage
because
or
even this
relationship, but
morning, even this morning, you wake up with different interests. I wake up with different interests. Okay, we've met now at this
yeah,
point here when we are talking, but we kind of don't do the same things. We don't really. Yes, our interests are different,
yes, but
but we do relate well.
there's enough there
Yeah,
to make that connection.
I'm
And
loud. You're
people,
not.
yeah, but there's enough there
Yeah.
because if we didn't have anything in common,
Mm-hmm.
if we didn't enjoy each other's company,
Mm-hmm.
if we weren't getting, then what kind of marriage would that be? So there's more that unites us than what divides us. We have those differences, but we embrace those.
Okay.
But when you're talking about people in the wider community,
Mm-hmm.
it's just because naturally,
Yeah.
you're singling out blacks and whites, but you're seeing black
Mm-hmm.
and white.
Mm-hmm.
I see things a little differently. I see more the cultural differences rather than the skin colours. You know, black people or Africans would congregate with people they relate to, people they enjoy. I mean, let's look at KDM then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you could say to yourself, "Oh, there's not many Mzungus on KDM.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'm the only one."
Mm-hmm.
You know, but
Mm-hmm.
that's by association with you.
Mm-hmm.
And why is that?
Mm-hmm.
Because why would a Mzungu
Mm-hmm.
search out?
Mm-hmm.
All right, there's probably some people that watch it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know my mum watches it,
Mm-hmm.
but that's by association through
Mm-hmm.
me to you.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, we naturally
Mm-hmm.
search out,
Mm-hmm.
or around what is one familiar to us,
Yeah.
and what we enjoy, and what do
My
you think? Let me ask
my
you, what do you
my
think?
view sometimes I tend to think it's the deep rooted differences we have culturally, right? So from a Kenyan point of view, if when I'm in Kenya, I'm welcoming to Mzungu a lot and we respect, but we still see them as our superior in a way, right? Now, when I'm in the West here and I come and mix with you and I find that you're ordinary people who go through struggles like everybody else, you're normal. Like now, people may be thinking you're a very mdosi guy, very rich. And even when I took you to Kenya, yes,
Mm.
people came surrounding you, oh, nipe pesa, nipe pesa. Do you remember that?
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah. So when I am here, you are ordinary to me. You are just a normal person. You're not that stereotyped, prejudiced kind of a person that we were taught, like
Mm.
when we were in Kenya, we were taught like, the colonial, right? The rich guy, the tourist. Those are
Mm.
the pictures we see of Wazungus. And we forget that you have a normal, ordinary, everyday life. Like you sniffle, you sneeze, right? And you go through the same struggles of paying the bill. That you go through the same struggles of paying bills, you go through the same struggles
Of
of
course.
every other person has. We forget that. So to me, it's the deep rooted differences that we have.
Mm.
Again, you did say about on the basis of culture, the way we've been raised, the way we've been conditioned. So we have grown looking at the white people as the superior person sometimes, as the colonialist, as the conqueror, as the rich guy, as the mzungu and all that. And it's really taken us a long time. And I think there is a big gap that needs to be breached. And I'm thinking it's going to take maybe another 50 years for us to be able now to mingle and mix properly. Yeah, the white and the black. Yes, I live in this community. And one of my best friends, where is she from? Nigeria.
Nigeria, yeah.
Okay, she's African. I didn't know any other Nigerian when I was in Kenya. I didn't. But when I came here, and that's why I was taking you to the color, I don't know whether I was drawn by the color or I was drawn by the culture, because Mary's culture and my culture, they're totally different. West and East Africa, I find their food to be very hot, chili hot. But you like their chili hot food. You like their Nigerian chili hot food. I find it to be really hot. So I still get kind of really confused, or rather wonder, what is it that we can do to be able to bridge the gap? Not necessarily, I mean, particularly the African gap and the European gap, so that we can be able to mix as normal people, right?
Well,
As
I'd like to ask you a question.
mm,
So you're very good friends with Mary,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
So what I'd like to ask you is,
yeah.
why are you good friends with Mary? What is the foundation of that friendship?
With Mary's communication. Mary and I talk. And with you, the same. It's communication.
Okay.
One of the things is communication. When we talk, like now we are talking, and I may post this on our social media, Kenya Diaspora Media. One of the most challenging thing I find is that people don't communicate. Okay. When I say communicate, the talking, right? And then relating with one another. So for Mary, I stop again seeing her as a Nigerian. I just see her as Mary, right? And it's a person I can easily talk to. I hope she doesn't mind, yeah, me talking about her, and yeah, we talking about her. I know she wouldn't mind. So I find it very easy to talk to Mary. I find so very easy to relate her. I find so like she can be, she's my sister, she's my friend, she's my daughter, she's my cousin. I find all the mix of things in her very openly, and we are not shy to talk about the struggles we have. We are not shy to talk about the successes we have. We are not shy to talk about anything, whether it's the religious aspect of it, our faith and belief, or everyday aspect of life, our struggles with life. The same with you, right? I find that we can be able to communicate openly. So, my darling, how can we bridge then? Because it's kind of now we are narrowing
Now,
the gap. How can I be able to? Do you think the problem is with me? I'm not able to communicate with the white, wider society, or what's
do
the
you know what
problem?
it is?
Mm,
You just said something which I think is very important.
yeah,
You said
yeah,
that you don't see Mary as a Nigerian
hmm,
or an African. She's just your friend
yeah,
and relate. Now, what do I say to you? In fact, I even said it this morning
hmm,
to me,
yeah,
and I've said it to many other people as well. You're Esther. You're my wife. I even said, I think even a couple of hours ago in the kitchen, I said to you this morning,
hmm,
did I not,
hmm,
that I don't even see you as a black person or an African person.
hmm,
You're Esther. In fact, you just seem. I said to you, didn't I think this morning?
hmm.
I think you're just white. You don't even look African now.
Now
Right?
you see, you painted me white.
Yeah.
Okay,
But what I'm
I know
saying,
what you meant. You meant I am
what
Esther.
I'm
I'm
trying to
just
say
Esther. Yeah,
is,
yeah.
if you don't mind me saying that, you're saying about, you putting this emphasis on you want to bridge the gap between black and white,
Yeah.
and I think there lies the problem. We should stop seeing each other as black and white,
Okay.
and just see people
As people.
as people.
Okay.
What you should really be concentrating on
Hmm.
is just, maybe if you said building the bridges or the gaps between cultures would be
Yeah.
more appropriate. But if I'm absolutely honest,
Hmm.
I don't like it when we keep, because even by you saying
Hmm.
you want to build bridges between black and white people,
Yeah.
you're putting labels on people.
Oh,
It's
right.
black,
Hmm.
it's white,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
And if you really want to build bridges,
Hmm.
it's not about building. It's about breaking down. It's
All
about
right. Breaking the barriers.
breaking those things down which divide us. Yeah, and I
Okay.
think the sooner we stop, um, focusing on the appearance,
Hmm.
and just realise that we're all human. We're all children of God. Then that's when we'll make more progress, in my opinion.
Okay. I understand you, and I can get you, and I'm getting you. Okay. So thank you so much. One of the things I wanted to do is this day is to interview a white person. Okay, I will no longer see him as a white person. Is to interview my husband, and next time, hopefully, I'll be able to interview a friend. And it doesn't matter whether that friend will be white, black, or chocolate, or whatever. Yes, it doesn't matter. Okay.
Let me tell you.
Yeah.
That's white. You can see the whiteness on that. I'm not white.
And this is
that's black. This is not a black person. We're just slightly different shades of the same colour.
Okay. All right, of the same colour. So I think you will be the one helping me when I mention these differences in colour to remind me, no, it's people. And by the way, most English people, most British people do remind us about that. I have talked one day to a person that is Kenyan, but they didn't want to be identified as Kenyan or by their roots or anything. They just said, I am British. So it may take us a long time. Maybe it may take us hard work to realize that we are people. Yeah, we are people, and we have the same interests, life. We have the same interests of relating with one another. And one of the things, like I said yesterday, when again I was asking for your help, is that last S in the spices of life, social relations. Now, like you've said, I was thinking of bridging the gaps, but you're telling me to try and break down the barriers. Yeah, break down the barriers. And in the process of breaking down the barriers, we don't even need a bridge because there isn't a river to cross. There is no difference. We live in the same environment. We live in the same communities. All we need to do now is to be able to interact more, to communicate more at the same level, and have those interests meet together. Okay, like it has met today, this particular moment. So how do you feel about the discussion we've just had? Do you think I should post it or I shouldn't post it on social media?
I don't mind.
Yeah.
So long as people realise this is not a rehearsed.
It's not rehearsed. In
studio
fact,
program.
nothing.
This is just us sitting having a conversation.
Yeah.
So what you see is what you get.
Yeah. Yeah. So, like my thoughts.
I don't mind if you want to post.
I will post them. My thoughts. That's what I woke up with in a way. Yeah. And I was saying about bridging the gap between white and black. And then I was thinking of interviewing different people. Yeah. Whether they are men, women, young and old. And one of the aims for me is to build relationships. And that's what I really, really would like to do. And in the process of doing that, I believe I'll be serving my life purpose, and every other person will be serving their life purpose. Okay? That's what I was thinking of. And I was also thinking from where my life began and where it ended. And one of the questions I wanted to ask, but I won't ask now unless people want me to ask, is to do with the purpose. Yeah, what is my purpose? Because the main thing about Spices of Life, that's what I talk about. Rediscovering your potential and maximizing it. But today, I don't know whether you have rediscovered anything about you. I don't know whether you have rediscovered anything about me. And I don't know whether we have maximized. I think we have. What do you think? Do you think we have rediscovered? What have you rediscovered about yourself today? Anything to do with this subject we've been talking about?
Rediscovered about myself?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay. I have rediscovered about you that you're becoming a very good broadcaster, a very good communicator, because I put you on the spot. It's something that you don't know that you have. Most of the time, I put you on the spot and you come up with a lot of wisdom.
Really?
Yes. Did you know that? So
I didn't know that. Okay, so I've rediscovered that.
Rediscovered.
No, not rediscovered, because I never knew I did it in the first place.
Okay. There was a day somebody else in one of our Bible study sessions says they think you're very wise. And if you didn't know then, yeah, let's give you this. You have a lot of wisdom and you have shown it in this program. I believe people will be commenting here below to tell us whether this guy is wise or not. I believe you're very wise because I've put you on the spot. You don't do these things that I do. You think I'm very clever at doing these things. I'm not,
Well, of course
because
you
like
are.
now, I just wanted to talk to you. I tried to take you out for a walk, but you couldn't come out for a walk with me. So I thought, why not sit in front of a camera and just talk? And we have done very well. So, Mr. Darling, Mr. Hooch, Mzungu, you are very wise. And I have rediscovered that when we talk, our natural just talk. And if you keep it recorded, I can see your wisdom, right? So maybe
Santa.
we can help each other to maximize that potential. You like coughing though, because I think it's the nervousness. I don't know. And earlier on, I had asked you what makes you most nervous. You couldn't really tell me. Anyway, we're not going there. All right. So, my darling, thank you so much for the conversation we've had. Thank you for helping me to see. We don't necessarily need to bridge the gap. What we need to do is, what did you say? What is the word you use? We just need to break down the barriers.
Break the barriers.
Yeah, the perspective to which we see that this is chocolate, this is vanilla. The moment we see black and white, yeah, he said that's white, that is black. We shouldn't be seeing those. I think we should be digging deeper a little bit just to get to know people and relate with them as people.
One last point, just a humorous thing to end on.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've often heard that Africans like to use bleaching products to become lighter skinned, and then Europeans will go.
I've used talcum powder today. Is that a breach?
But Europeans
Yeah.
will go and lie in the sun and get cooked,
Yeah.
so they can get browner. So if I just find that really amusing.
It is.
When we're wanting to see the differences, and yet we're actually trying to be more alike.
It is amusing. It is amusing.
Something to think about.
Yeah, it is amusing. Yeah, thank you so much, my darling. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you so much for your wisdom and understanding as well. Because if you didn't have all that, you could have said, no, I don't want to do it. I told you, I'm not a morning person. I'm not a morning person. Look at what you're getting me. I hope you've enjoyed doing this. I hope so.
Always enjoy your company.
Thank you. Otherwise, I'm going to stop it now. Asante sana. This was another impulsive life moment with a lot of just, unrehearsed and no drama. Nothing, I mean, it's unscripted, and that's the way I'm going to post it just as it is. Asante sana. This is Spices of Life. My name is Esther Nduta, or Esther from Leicester, and your name is?
And I'm Neil Hutchins.
Neil Hutchins, you haven't added your husband. Esther's husband.
I think they know I'm your husband.
Oh, okay. My husband.
Yes.
Neil's wife.
My wife.
Yeah, thank you. Asante sana.
Asante.
Bye-bye for now.